Lagos has a language problem. Let's talk trash. Right now, the plastic waste market, at the level of the aggregator, the waste picker at the bottom of the pyramid, is worth approximately 200 billion naira. By the time that same material becomes finished goods, you're looking at a trillion naira market. A city like Lagos cannot afford to ignore a market that size. And yet, largely, we do. Lagos builds with sand dredged from its own inland waterways, and that dredging is devastating the fishing communities who depend on these waters for their livelihood. It's destroying the environment along with them. The state government has raised its own alarm over sand scarcity and is now cautious about issuing new dredging licenses, watching daily volumes, extraction volumes, to conserve what's left. Unregulated dredging doesn't just deplete the sand, it worsens coastal erosion and drives up flood risks in low-lying communities, Ikorodu, Ajah, Victoria Island, the same neighborhoods that already flood every time it rains hard. So here's the question. What if the sand we need for construction didn't have to come from the lagoon at all? The science already exists. Global structural research, including work out of the University of Bath and projects tracked by Singapore's JTC Corporation, have established a clear, measurable relationship between recycled plastic content and concrete's mechanical performance. This isn't speculative. The correlation is documented. What's missing in Lagos isn't the science, it's the standards and the feedstock pipeline to act on it. Here's what that could look like at our current recovery levels. Roughly 30% of the plastic we can't recycle due to contamination, call it 300,000 tons, is exactly what this application needs. That volume replaces somewhere between 250,000 to 300,000 cubic meters of sand. Converted into standard construction metric, that's about 436,000 tons of natural sand that never has to be dredged. Or if it's easier to picture, over 14,500 heavy-duty tipper trucks that never need to make the run down the Lekki-Ekpe Expressway. That single shift creates about 90 billion a year before value add. Money currently leaking straight into the ocean, where it does nothing but cause damage. It's a double loss. The plastic pollutes the water, and the dredging it should have replaced erodes the same soft capital that feeds this city, fish. The alternative, 300,000 tons of urban waste locked inside a paving stone or a non-load bearing wall, gone for good, locked away, out of the drains, out of the lagoon permanently. And if we decide to go the energy route instead, run that same 300,000 tons through pyrolysis instead. The numbers are just as striking. Approximately 875 million kilowatt hours of net electrical energy, a real contribution to a city that runs chronically short on power. That's roughly equivalent to displacing 240 million liters of diesel currently burned by the generators, keeping markets and small industries running. Loud and polluting, block by block, across the city. Construction aggregates or energy. Either route turns the same 300,000 tons from a liability into infrastructure. The choice isn't whether this material has value. It's which form of that value we want first. What the numbers don't capture, as striking as all of this is, none of it is the real story. The real story is a generation handed the tools to actually change something, the materials to build with, the power to produce, a cleaner environment to grow up in. It's what that does to standards of living, to the number of jobs a city like this can hold. It's the shift in a ministry that's been perpetually underwater, finally getting some room to breathe. It's what it does to a young person's sense of what's possible when their city visibly starts to care. All of it comes from the same place, a system that changes the language around waste, so that we stop being drowned by it and start being the infrastructure that manages it. There's an African saying, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. This system is built to go far, bottom up, together or not at all. Next time, I'll be talking about what building this properly could actually mean for the state's own coffers, My name is Akitunde Disu. I am an intersectional environmentalist and founder of Right on the Beach, an award-winning environmental project.